Okay, hopefully everyone's with us now. Let's get started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on our new integrations, Moneyhub and the Medatech Customer Portal. My name's Jamal, and I'm a pre-sales consultant here at Medatech, and I've been working here for over 3 years now. We're going to spend about 25 minutes today to explain and help you understand these new features. We'll look at the brand new Medatech module, the Medatech Customer Portal, which is a really user-friendly interface to allow your customers to see their data easily. I'll show you what the customers see, how easy it is for you to set up, and the roadmap. In addition, we'll spend a little time on the Moneyhub bank integration that allows your staff to be more efficient and work more seamlessly with your Priority system. We'd welcome your participation, and so if you have any questions today, please use the Q&A box to ask any, and at the end I'll review and answer as many questions as possible. Just bear with me 1 second. I've somehow opened the wrong PowerPoint, so let's jump back in. Live telly, who'd do it? The Customer Portal is a new tool which we've developed following feedback from our customers and prospects. We realised that you need a way for your customers to easily see their interactions with your business in a user-friendly front end. You might want to view open orders, reprint invoices, or check shipments. And we've even added the ability for them to place orders directly to you. The best way to truly understand it, though, is to see it in action. So first we're greeted with a login screen. This is the screen customers will be presented with. We can then use our username and password to log in. Now that we're logged in, we're greeted with the dashboard. This is what our customers will see. At the top left of the screen, we have the menu, which shows all the items which can be accessed. If you use the dashboard button in the top left corner, this will take you back to the dashboard at any time. The dashboard starts with 3 boxes, one for orders, one for shipments, and one for invoices. This shows your open orders, shipments, and invoices. Let's start with orders. If you click the View Orders link, you're then shown a list of your active orders. We can then view the details of any of these orders by clicking this arrow to expand them. It's also worth noticing that the status colouring is defined according to the Priority BPM colouring. So if an order is on hold, it may display red. And you also can see the lines with the quantities and price, price excluding VAT, and then your total price at the end. So we can click the dashboard menu item to return the dashboard. And we can see the same options for shipments and invoices too. Now, you may have noticed a PDF sign on the right-hand side. You can use this button to view or print your documents. Perhaps your customer has misplaced their email confirmation from you. They can log into the portal, select the invoices section, find the appropriate invoice, and just click the PDF button, and it will automatically download a copy of the invoice document straight to their PC. This will save both your business and your customers time, rather than ringing up and requesting a copy to be resent. If we now return to the dashboard again, below we can see a selection of graphs. These are examples purely for the purposes of showing that you can have a graph. So if you have any ideas of graphs or data that you want your customers to see, let us know during the implementation process, and we can see if it is possible to add them based on your business needs. It's also important to note that there isn't any requirement to have any graphs at all on the dashboard. It comes down to your preferences. Next, we can look at the exciting feature that will allow your customers to place orders directly through the portal. Select the option Create Order from the left-hand side. This opens up a new page where you can start adding parts to an order. I'm presented with the parts that this customer is permitted to order, and I can also make the list smaller by starting to type in the part into the text box. I want to order a chair, so I can select the chair. I can select a quantity by using the up and down arrows. So let's say 1, and I can press add that to the order. Next, I'd like to add a desk, and we can already see it there in the list. And again, I can add that to the order. Finally, I'd like to finish off my new office with a lamp. And maybe it's a dark room, so let's have a couple of lamps. Add that to the order. I can then look down the bottom, check that the order is correct and that I'm happy with the prices. So we've got 3 lines on there. We can see the price and quantity and the overall total price as well. So when we're happy, we can confirm it by clicking Submit Order. And this is now inputted immediately into Priority, new sales order with the sub-level lines. And we can go and have a look at that now. If we jump into Priority, we can open the sales order form. And we can run a new query for today, the 8th of December. And we'll see that the 77 matches up with the correct parts and their quantities in there as well. So maybe you've just received that as a business and you're just going to confirm that you're happy with that. We go back into the portal and click the dashboard. Get back home, you'll notice that the orders have increased by 1. And we can now look at our recent orders through the portal as we're on the dashboard. So we can see the recent orders in the bottom pane down here. And you'll see a new order for today's date, the 8th of the 12th, with the order number. And you'll see that already that order status has changed to confirmed, and we've got the price on there as well. Next, we can have a look at how the notifications work. If I click on the notification panel, we can see first that a new order has been changed to confirmed, and that happened 1 minute ago. But we can also see order number ending 725 has been changed to in progress 20 hours ago. So these notifications show that new orders have been placed, the status has changed. And we can see the times that this happened, and we can see it's happening in real time. So let's have a look at how easy it is to set this up for our users. If we go back into Priority and we go back to the home page, to set up our user, we simply need to go to CRM, Customers, Customer Portal Users. It's important to note that you will need to sign up and purchase the module before you find any of these menu links. And in this form, we can select our customer record. So if we get it to come down, we could pick, for example, the same customer I've been using, but I'm going to give a new username and a new password. I'm going to set that as active, and I'm going to come off the line to save it. It's important to note as well that you can't use the same username more than once, as the system will throw up an error. Now, if I use the D for Jamal button in the top right-hand corner, I can log out of the system. And now you can sign back in using the new credentials we have just set up. I'm going to sign in, and we will see very similar amount of orders, shipments, and invoices because we're looking at the same customer. Your customers can have more than one login if they wish. You'll notice though that we've got a B in the top corner now, B for Bob. We go back to the slide deck. We can now discuss future developments that will be coming to the portal over the coming months. Firstly, we've got service call management, the ability to add, update, and check service calls. Your customers will be able to raise calls directly from the portal, receive updates, and even check any costs associated with the call. UI changes and improvements. A part catalogue showing a list of available parts with pictures, almost like an actual catalogue. And you'll be able to see inventory stock levels. So when your customers are making orders, they'll be able to see what's running low, what's out of stock, and what's currently in stock to help with their ordering process. There'll also be further customer finance additions, including the payment of invoices directly from the portal using a card and integrated with Moneyhub, which you'll have a look at in a few minutes, and the ability to print out customer statements on demand. Plus, there's more to be announced. This is simply a list of future developments. We can, of course, make modifications to suit individual business needs. So this portal is available now. Please note that it's a new module which we can modify or develop to suit your business, and we are open to any suggestions or ideas you have for the standard product. And if you need something specifically, we can discuss this as part of your implementation. Please do get in contact with myself, Christine, your project manager, or the support team to find out more. I'll go through and answer any questions on this subject once we've heard some information about Moneyhub, which will be presented by Christine, our head of customer services. Over to you, Christine.
Thanks, Jamal. I'll just get the screen shared. Okay, hopefully everyone can see that. So good morning, everyone. Thanks, Jamal, again. I'm Christine, Head of Customer Services at Medatech. I'll take a few minutes today explaining the exciting new Moneyhub integration and the automated statement feature. The Moneyhub tool is an integration that seamlessly ensures that you have a constant feed of your bank statement within Priority, and it's using technology called open banking. It should save you and your finance team the effort of downloading the statement from the bank, along with all those extra steps of logging in, selecting the correct period, checking what you downloaded before and synchronizing, and then of course saving the file and uploading it back into Priority using an import tool or using Excel and copy paste and all of that. Instead, you just open your statement form in Priority and your statement is there, ready to reconcile. It is that easy. In addition to this, we recognize that the ability to recognize this statement can sometimes be cumbersome, especially in the cases when the customer paid you and you didn't yet record the receipt, or when you have a transaction which went through the bank which just doesn't exist yet. To this end, we've added a tool to aid in this reconciliation. The system intelligently calculates which transactions, payments, receipts, or journals are required and creates them for you based on statement data and invoices in Priority. We've tried to make sure that this tool works in the easiest way it can, with the minimal need for you to click buttons or run procedures. As we're dealing with secure bank feeds and information, there's a requirement from the banking authorities to re-authenticate your details with the bank every 90 days. This is a banking regulation which is undergoing changes right now to make sure you don't have to authenticate as often, but right now we do need to do so. So to do this, we use the Get OBank Consent procedure. This opens a page where we select which bank we are connecting to. We enter our details and security login information provided by your bank and select the bank accounts that you would like to connect to. At the end of that process, we see a confirmation page which details the banks we have connected to. As I said, we only need to do this once every 90 days. So now the link is set up and connected, I can open my bank statement and see all transactions. They are seamlessly added to the statement as the bank sends them. Technology means that as soon as they are on your statement with the bank, you should see them in Priority statement. It is as easy as that. From the user point of view, all they need to do is view the statement. It is always up to date. We have some constants which define the frequency that a new bank statement is created with. You may want a new statement per week or per fortnight or month, and the constant puts you in control of that. The next part of this integration is to manage the actual reconciliation of those transactions. This part of the development is available in its own right. You can use it if you still want to manually upload the statements, or if you want to import them using other integration tools like AccessPay, and of course, if you are using Moneyhub. The steps we will follow are to first reconcile anything automatically using standard tools, then review and confirm the reconciliation recommendations, and then complete the process. So step one is to carry out standard automatic reconciliation. This should deal with the transactions which are already created, the payments which exist already and have been processed. You're probably doing this bit already. Once this is done, there will be a bunch of transactions which cannot be reconciled. These can fall into a few categories, which we use to recommend actions. As you can see from the screenshot example, the code ABCDE is used to show how the item is categorized. So let's explain each of those 5 types and how they will be reconciled. The first type is when there is a match of supplier or customer, and there is also a match of an invoice. The system has populated the customer name, looking at the reference to find what it is, and the invoice it recommends based on the value and a date range. A receipt for this transaction will be created. The next transaction, type B, is when the customer or supplier match was found, but it is not clear what invoice or invoices were being paid. For this item, I use the subform flag customer invoices for line to select the invoice I want to pay. Notice the subtotal is displayed so that I can flag the items required until I get the invoices selected to match the payment amount. So you see there we've got a subtotal of 586546, which matches the credit amount against the statement at the top level. This option can be used for both customer and supplier invoices. You just use a slightly different subform. Type C is the case when an invoice match is found, but there is a variance. The variance is defined by a constant. In this case, the system recommends the account to post the variance to, which is again based on another system constant, and we can amend this if necessary. In this case, we might change it to an exchange rate adjustment or bank charges or write-off. Next, type D gives the user the option to create a journal based on the bank transaction. The journal can be taxable or not, and the default rate will be pulled in but can be amended if required. On that basis, the system will calculate the net and the VAT figures, saving you a few more clicks and calculations. That could be used, for example, in this case, for a phone bill, a direct debit that happens every month, and you want to just record the payment transaction. Finally, type E is when the system is just not sure which of the above to use. Multiple matches are found, so the user needs to decide on the next action. They might link a supplier, link a customer, reference an invoice, and it will just be processed as the prior ones were. So hopefully, as you can see, these different methods allow us to categorize and match our bank statement much more easily. I have detailed all the different types of match, but of course, in the day-to-day use, these additional options are just viewed as part of the process. And the key point to note is that once we decide how the transaction fits, we don't need to process another transaction. The system will do this in the background, and all we need to do is tell the system what it is. I hope that this has helped you to understand the new offerings we have for bank statements and reconciliations, as well as, of course, the customer portal. All of these tools have been built to help you be more efficient and streamlined in your operations. If you would like to discuss these options and see how these modules can be used by your business, please don't hesitate to get in contact with Jamal, myself, or anyone at Medatech so that we can advise you further. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you that our previous webinars are available on the website or our YouTube channel, Medatech UK, for you to watch at any time and share with colleagues. They cover items such as automating reports, smart navigation tools, to cash flow and document design. Our next webinar is in January, and we'll be introducing you to the new features available in 21.1. So now let's see if we have any questions.
I'll unmute myself as well, but I think this is one for you, Christine.
Got any? So I've got a question from somebody. Can this interface be used to import credit card transactions too? I imagine so, but I will check that and get back to you directly and confirm, but I don't see why not. What version is needed to support these features? So for the, Jamal, do you know for the customer portal?
For the customer portal, it's from 19.1.
Okay. Okay, so 19.1, and that will mean that you have the API and the webhook tools, which are available as part of Priority. For the Moneyhub integration, it's also 19.1.
So if you're on a version below 19.1, it might be time to start thinking about an upgrade.
Yes, definitely. And please get in contact with me or support team, and we'll help you to get that arranged.
I can't see any further questions.
I see one more actually.
Yeah.
It's about the customer portal. Just asking how we notified that new sales orders have been raised. I would suggest that you would have a BPM rule.
Yeah, BPM rule. It will also appear in your to-do list on your homepage, based on your setup of the portal. So when new orders come in. So I've got one more question as well. Will customer portal show all historic orders? That is something that you can discuss at the point of implementation. You have the choice of orders disappearing once they are completed, if you choose to, or they can stay in the list. You might have noticed there was 14 orders when what we were showing you, but only 5 were showing up, but there were further pages, so some of those would have been completed as well, completed orders. But that's something to discuss during the implementation process.
Lovely. All right, so if there's no more questions, thank you for your time today. Hope you all have a really good Christmas. We will see you again in January.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.